happening, everybody out here? Today we're coming at you from Lakes Park. This is a beautiful park that we have here in South Fort Myers. It's a really nice place to go. It's about 5 miles from the beaches. A lot of people come down here. You know, I mean, it's early December now. The weather is nice, and this is a great place to come on the weekends. As you can see behind me there's some paddle boats. You can rent those and go out into the waters there. Lots of nice lakes. You can see alligators and all kinds of stuff. You can have a barbecue like these people are just hanging out, you know, grilling up some stuff, having a good time. And you can see back there, there's a little water park for the kids. A lot of people come down here, just spend the whole day, you know, running around and having a good time, you know, staying cool in the water park. And behind me here is the bicycles. This is basically, there's a rental place. You can rent the bicycles. There's lots of nice trails running all around through this park where you could just hop on one of those bikes. There's all different kinds. See them back there. There's, you know, those little things that you sit on and ride around on. Concession stands for drinks, bathrooms, everything's here. But today we're going to meet up with a fellow who's got a really cool 2018 Mustang. Let's go look out for him. He should be here soon. Damn, that's a nice looking car. All right, everybody, so we caught up with Alex here. He's the owner of that beautiful red 2018 Mustang back there. I gotta say, Alex, when I saw that car out in front of the Verizon store, I was set back. The thing is absolutely beautiful, man. I love that car.
No, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, 2018 Ecoboost, man. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong.
I mean, really, the graphics, you know, those black stripes that are on the side of it, and that rear spoiler. You know, at first glance, when I saw the car, I ran over with the camera and took a whole bunch of video of it, thinking that it's a Mustang GT. Then I go home and I'm ready to compile a video of it. I realize it's an Ecoboost. It kind of really blew my mind.
Yeah, it does. And the funny thing is, man, it was all stock too. You know, it took me about a month to find the car, and it all came stock. Like at the Ford dealership, it's one of a kind. One of a kind.
Yeah, that's amazing. I thought that the spoiler was an aftermarket spoiler.
Nope. Yep, it all came like that. All came like that.
I can't believe it, because when I bought mine, I just bought it off the lot. I had no idea what options were available. So that thing is really nice, man.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And it's one of those things, man. It's a diamond in the rough. You know, never jump on the first thing. Always look around until you find what you want.
Yep. So what brought you to buying that car?
Well, I mean, you know, I'd had an old SUV from like 2002 ever since high school. When I graduated college, I had some money, and I was just like, let's see what our options are. And for muscle cars, I mean, Mustang's the way to go, hands down.
Well, I gotta say, I agree with that. You know, did they offer you any incentives or anything like that? I mean, what kind of a deal did you get?
Yeah, I mean, one of the big things that Ford does, especially for recent college grads, is you get reimbursement when you buy through Ford dealerships. So that's always a helpful thing. Nice to get money back. And then, of course, for the price point, man. I mean, you're talking $30,000 for an Ecoboost. Like for a new car, for a muscle car performance like that, it's hard to find a deal that good.
So how does it run?
Oh, smooth, so smooth, and it's got different driving options. Like you guys will see it later, but it's fantastic. Nothing like it.
All right, cool. All right, so let's go over there and take a look at it.
Absolutely.
Well, here it is. What is this? I believe this is called laser red or race red.
Yeah, race red. Race red is the color.
Man, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it's a beauty.
And you look at it, and then you look at the GT, and really, there's no indication to tell you that one is an Ecoboost and one is a GT.
Yeah, there's really not. And I mean, for a lot of you people that like to notice the fine details, the only real difference in the front is going to be those grills. You know, and even then, that's only like a trained eye would notice that.
Oh yeah, I see it down here.
Exactly.
Is that grill is just a little bit different.
Your bottom one.
Than that one.
And then it looks like you have a V taper kind of in your top grill, whereas mine's just straight the perforated metal.
That's right. I should have spotted that. It doesn't have those sort of you know, fangs or whatever it is that they call it inside the GT.
Exactly. Don't get me wrong. You know, it makes the GT look mean, but again, for all intents and purposes, they look identical from the front.
When at a glance, you really, I mean, I didn't spot it at first. I mean, really, with the graphics on the side of the car, I really did not notice that the 5-liter emblems were not there.
Really? Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the things. It's like, if you're not really looking for it, and if you're used to that physical body style, you're not going to notice it. You know, I get a lot of people that ask me if it's a GT. I'm just like, nope, it's a standard Ecoboost. And like I said, everything on there was stock. You know, the decals, the black spoiler in the back, same with the custom rims. Like, a lot of times I think you see Ecoboost that have kind of like the solid rims that they'll put on there, but mine were the custom style, and like, can't complain. Like I said, it took about a month to find it.
Wow, really something. You know, I mean, that's the same rim that's on my GT, and really, I mean, I liked it for my car. I like it just as much for this car. It really sets it off.
Yeah, I think so too. You know, I always thought about, like, everyone really likes the black rims, but just for the way the car is built and how the rims look, like, I really like it. I really do.
And that spoiler is really something too. I had
Oh, yeah.
no idea that, you know, the factory would give you a spoiler like that.
Oh yeah, everything was just like that, fresh off the lot. You know, like,
I mean,
she's a beauty.
That's so nice. I mean, mine just has a standard spoiler, painted the same color of the car. And this one sort of raised and painted black. It's really, really sweet.
No, I appreciate it. And like, I think it's one of those things that really kind of makes the car, I think for what it is, everything just works in tandem to just give it such an overall great look.
Yeah, really sweet. Absolutely love it.
Appreciate it.
All right, so let's turn to the interior. Let's see what that looks like. All right. So this is not a 401A car. This is a car that does not have the standard dash. Excuse me, it has the standard dash. It doesn't have the digital dash.
No, it does not. No, but it's the, I guess you would call it, what, manual? But no, it's got full touchscreen display and everything like that, but in terms of like your speedometer and everything like that, it's not digital.
Right, so it's basically the same as the 15 to 17 cars.
Correct.
Which is also very nice.
I kind of like that vintage look. You know, don't get me wrong, there's something to be said about the really nice, futuristic looking electrical dash, but you know, I'm a little old fashioned in some respects, so I kind of like that.
Yeah, my feeling about the digital dash is it's something that's nice to have, but it's not the end of the world if you don't have it. It's really no big deal.
True, I agree.
And the leather seats, the car is sweet. It looks like you hardly drive it.
Yeah, I mean, big thing about car ownership, you gotta keep it clean. You know, so every week I clean it out and I try to keep it as nice as possible.
Really nice, man.
No, I appreciate that.
Beautiful car, Alex.
It's so hard to get into these things. Still learning, you know?
Yep.
Because you said
over to the left a little bit. There you go.
She's still warm.
You know, I think this might be the first time I've ever actually gotten a close look at one of these. Simple Ecoboost 4-cylinder.
Mm-hmm. 10-speed, you know, turbo in it too.
Right.
But
now I was looking on the web this morning. These cars, I think, are rated at 310 horsepower and 350 pound-feet of torque.
Yeah, they say 310, 315, and again, they run on regular gas.
Wow.
You know, there's an argument that can be made based on your personal opinion and whatever test you've done about what type of fuel grade you put in there. But when I did my test, there's real no difference between 86 and premium.
Okay, cool. You ever think about doing some mods to it?
I've thought about it, but it's one of those things where it's like, she runs so well now, you know, and because I'm freshly new, so I got to educate myself a little bit more. But in the future, absolutely.
I was looking myself, you know, with the downpipe and a simple tune and a cold air kit, you're looking at picking up anywhere from 20 to 40 horsepower and some torque by doing that. I mean, that thing would really, I mean, I'm sure it's quick the way it is, but I'm sure that would really wake this thing up.
Help. That would definitely help. Yeah, don't get me wrong, you know, she's quick off the line, but she's not going to roar like a GT, but she'll still put some people in their place, you know, if you get them off the red light.
All right. What do you say we take it for a drive?
Absolutely.
Let me drive it?
Sure.
Sounds good.
So we're out here. How you like it?
Man, this thing is nice. You know, it's hard to believe how different it is. Processing here. It feels like a different car. Really, I mean, the ergos feel the same, but the front end of the car feels really light. And I could also say I don't miss the digital dash. I actually like the way this is laid out. So, you know, like I said many times before, the digital dash is something that's nice to have. I bought it because it was new and exciting, but if you don't have it, you're really not missing all that much. This is quite an experience. All right, so from about a 25 mile an hour roll, wow, she's got some torque.
Uh-huh. I was actually really waiting for you to do that little test there. And that's the thing, man. You don't know until you do it. And then everyone's just like, wow. Like the girl I'm dating, I do that too. And she's always just like, you get that out of this? And I'm like, oh yeah.
It's quite a surprise, really. It's sort of like this quiet little smooth torque pull. It just kind of takes you, you know, you don't have a V8 growl, you don't have anything like that, but you feel the car taking you forward. It's really nice. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so let's see. Wow, turbo really hits.
Yep.
Man. And the brakes. Well, you know what? The car's light, even though it's got the same 4-piston brakes that my car has. This thing stops nice too.
Yeah, man, that's the thing. And like I said, you know a lot more about the specs than I do, but just from like test driving and doing all the mods and everything, bro, it's fantastic.
Man, I'd love to own one of these and throw some mods at it. I can see why somebody would want to buy an Ecoboost, you know, specifically to buy an Ecoboost just to mod it, because this car is so light and nimble that starting out with something this much lighter, what is it, like 200 or 300 pounds?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. All right, let's turn around. Let's go back.
Dude wants to do it again.
Yeah. Here we go. Oh, man. Turbo second gear.
Yep.
This is amazing for a 4-cylinder. Oh my goodness, that's 75 miles an hour. Wow.
That's the power in this bad boy.
Man.
And you had that in track?
That was in drag mode.
That was in drag mode? Yeah, drag mode is where you're getting all your power.
This thing is just screaming for modifications. And it's quick the way it is, but it's just asking for more. This thing is really nice. I mean, it's so nimble. You're switching lanes, you're flicking it around.
Yeah.
And I'm really impressed. I had no idea how nice these cars are.
Yeah, the big thing too, like when you're on the highway or kind of like these 3-lane roads in Florida, you can just kind of go in and out, you know, and it's, like you said, it's very nimble and you can notice it when you drive it.
You can see why people like these cars.
And like, it's all about the price point too, you know. If you're on a budget, you want a really nice car, you want something that looks good and it's a great community, like I said, Mustangs, always the way to go.
All right, so now we're gonna hop in my car and go for a ride. Ready to drive it, Alex?
Absolutely.
All right, let's do it. I mean, this is a pretty cool comparison to do. You got this beautiful race red Ecoboost car that's really sweet, and here's a car that all you guys are familiar with. This is the Orange Fury Whipple supercharged 2018 Mustang GT. You know, it's the same car. There's really no difference except for what's under the hood. They're both, you know, beautiful S550s, 2018 S550s, both with 10-speed automatics. And the biggest difference is what's under the hood.
I couldn't agree more. You know, I'd never seen a GT like yours under the hood before, and it's just completely different.
Yeah.
Like bigger, meaner. You see all the bells and whistles, you know. And don't get me wrong, I'm not the most technical guy in the world, but even I can see that there are just substantial differences between what's under yours and what's under mine.
Yeah, but there's a little something for everybody here, because really, the Ecoboost is a car that, you know, making 310 horsepower stock from the factory. I remember back in the Fox Body days, 225 horse was what you got. You know, it had potential for more, but how many people actually made more than 300 horsepower with a Fox Body?
Exactly.
You know, and these S550s are light years ahead of the Fox Body, so, you know, these Mustangs, they've really come a long way.
I agree, and like I said, you know, when we started, it's really the bang for the buck. Like, you just can't go wrong.
All right, let's take this baby for a ride.
Let's do it.
All right, Alex, hop in.
Oh wow, yeah, for the most part, wow, it all looks exactly the same as mine. I wonder if your digital display is a little bit smaller, but for all intents and purposes, you know, it's the same.
All right, cool. All right, let's get in there and lay the hammer down.
All right. You can just hear the difference. Just tell us a lot of power here.
Yep. Well, there's also some modifications in the rear suspension, like you might hear some clicking noises and things like that. That's because of the differential bushings that I put in, supposed to stiffen it up.
Okay.
So that's something you might notice. It's a little different.
Yeah, everything about it's just different. My goodness.
I don't even think you were on the boost.
I wasn't, because it's the thing. It's just I just know there's so much power in this car. You know, it's just one of those things. I'm reserved, you know, because it's just like, my goodness, you know, you want to be able to handle all the power.
Well, wait till you get into the boost.
Are you ready to test the bad boy?
Hit it. Hit it.
Oh my God.
We need more road.
Even still, my goodness. You feel it in your heart. You really do. You feel it.
You gotta love it.
We're good. All right, you ready?
Hit it. 70 miles an hour, just like that.
Just like that.
And it seems to me like you're a little bit more than half throttle. I don't think you were really on it.
Even so, like, that's the thing. My RPM's like, you know, you shoot up, and it's just like we were there, but at the same time, you can just tell there's so much more.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things. You take it to a track or something, you're done.
Yeah.
You know, you're done.
Yeah, she rips.
My goodness, there's a huge difference. There really is.
The problem is traction, really.
Yeah.
I mean, there was wheel spin. I could feel it. But
Yeah,
I'm working on getting some new wheels for it. Just got to make sure I get the right ones.
My goodness. And I think another thing too, like, is to be said is like when you pull up to a red light or something, you hear this boy, you know, and it's such a clean, nice motor sound.
Yeah.
Like it's like it's growling, you know. It really is, and it's fantastic, you know. And it's an eye turner for sure. We got people crossing the sidewalk. Everyone just kind of looks at it, you know.
Yeah, right.
Just kind of looks at it.
We broke that guy's neck. We got some straight road. Wow. Just shoots right up, my goodness. Every time, you know, and like we've done this a couple, like 5-6 times, and each time it's just, it's beautiful. It really is. You know, when you love the cars and you just love how engines perform, there's something to be said for this bad boy. The GT is its own league. Next time I want you to really hit it, because I can see you're not really on it. I want you to hit it hard. All right? All right. Okay, you got it. Let's go. We're going to stay in it. Oh, there it is. My goodness. That was 60 just shoots up like that. Oh my God. See, he was right. I was nervous, but when you really punch it, it just shoots you right into it. My goodness. That was crazy. A little bit more than the Ecoboost. Oh, substantial. My goodness gracious. Fantastic car. I can see why all of you guys are a big fan. I get it. Absolutely. Get it now. Love these 5 liters. You know, these Gen 3 Coyotes, they got a lot of power to start with. You put any kind of power, you know, power adder on it, and they just take off. Now there it is. Oh, that was 90 miles an hour. And that's the coaching, y'all. That's the coaching. Like he's like, no, you're fine. And like when you drive the Ecoboost, you know, you're not used to that kind of power. And he's right. You know, you just gotta listen to the guy that owns the car. And he's like, stay in it. And I did. And well, I've had the car down in Mexico, and I've bounced off the speed limiter, so I've gotten used to it. I'm ready for more power at this point. My goodness gracious. And you know, it really is. It's like whatever you put into the car, like that's what you get out of it. So Alex, what do you think of the Whipple? Oh my goodness, nothing like it. I know I keep saying that, but it's a loss for words, really. You know, when you're used to driving something and then you go into a beast like that, what can I say? You got to do it. You got to experience it. Well, to tell you the truth, it's really not going as good as I wanted it to go. I'm not getting enough traction. My 0 to 60 times aren't as good as I think they need to be, or could be, for this package. But once I get some traction, maybe I need to step it up to a stage 2 kit or get another tune for it, because it's capable of doing a lot more than it's doing. But it is fun to drive. I mean, when you just drive it around like that, I mean, after driving the Ecoboost, I bet it's a big difference, right? Oh, it's a complete difference. The handling, the power, you know, don't get me wrong, like the power in that boy, it's just, you know, nothing can compare to my Ecoboost like that. All right, cool. No, nothing. But thanks again, man, for letting me drive it. It was a pleasure. It was fantastic. Pleasure. Hey, and you know, the Ecoboost is nice. I mean, really, that car, that's a beautiful car. I gotta say, you know, you can't take anything away from that, because it's light, it's nimble. You know, the car is it's a beautiful car to look at. I mean, really, from a distance, you really can't tell that you know, that's not a GT. I mean, really, at a glance, I have to say, you know, there's really something to be said for those cars. So great deal, Alex. I really love the car.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It means a lot. Yeah, you know, there's something that's like, you like the physical look of it, and then you like the performance in the engine, you know?
Right.
So it's to find the balance for your right Mustang.
All right, man. So thanks for doing the video.
No, absolutely.
Catch you later,
My pleasure.
bro.
Absolutely.
Take it easy. All right, guys, here's a look at another part of Lakes Park. You see the beautiful lakes, a lot of wildlife, lots of cool stuff to look at. Great place to be, really. It's mid-December, temperatures are really nice. As you can see back there, you know, there's people having a barbecue, just walking around on the trails. There's another little party going on over there. It's a great place to be. This is in South Fort Myers, maybe 5 miles from the beach. And there's walking trails, you can see them back there. People, they rent those bicycles and just have a lazy day. It's really nice down here, guys. If you ever get a chance, this is a place to come down and check out at any time of the year. Doesn't matter what season it is. Great place to be. I gotta say, driving that Ecoboost car was an eye-opening experience to me. 310 horsepower and 350 pound-feet of torque in an S550 that's as light and as nimble as that car is a really nice package. It's just a tribute to what Ford's been able to do with these cars. You know, and getting 30 miles to gallon with all of that performance, and for the $32,000 or whatever it was that Alex paid for the car, that's a lot of car for the money. Very impressive. It was a lot of fun driving the car. Alex had a lot of fun driving my car. You can see he has never driven a car that's got this much horsepower, so it was a lot of fun. And it, you know, it sort of takes me back to the Fox body days. You know, I'll show you my first Fox body, this '82 Mustang GT. The car wasn't really in that good a shape. You know, the car was hit. The TRX wheels were gone. The GT nose piece was gone. You know, the engine was pretty well worn out. It had a lot of blow-by and all of that, but it was a car that I could afford, and it was a car that I got. But later on down the road, I did some modifications to this car. But you know, think about it. The Mustang GTs back then, the Fox bodies, progressed into 225 horsepower. How many people back then really tweaked those cars to make more than 300 horsepower? I mean, a lot of people did, you know, and a lot of people still do today, you know, with the Coyote swaps and all of the wild engines that you could put together for these cars today. But back then, if you bought the car as a daily driver and you wanted to tweak it for more power, really to get it to 300 horsepower, really, not that many people really took it that far. So, you know, looking at the Ecoboost car today with 310 horsepower in an S550 performing as well as it does, it really is a tribute to what Ford's been able to do with these cars. You know, thinking about the Fox bodies, you know, I was able to do some pretty wild things with some of the ones that I had. You know, the motor that was in my '82, you know, had a lot of blow-by. It was pretty well worn out. I had this motor with high compression pistons in it. You know, there's my brother pulling it out of that car. We dropped it into my '82. Eventually got a T5 5-speed in it, put a better 8.8 rear in it with 373 gears. The car ran really good. Then I eventually put this 351 in it. You can see the long tube headers, 1 3/4 headers. You know, I put a Victor Junior manifold on it, and even got my hands on a set of AR Pro 1 heads. You guys remember those? The first aluminum street head that you could get for a Windsor engine. That's right, I put them on there, and the car ran pretty good with those heads also. You know, so you know, I was making some power with it. It was a lot of fun. Honestly, you know, Fox bodies is something that, you know, once you've been through that, it's something that never leaves you. I was watching Foxcast Media not that long ago, and they put together a beautiful red '92 Fox body with a Coyote swap. And I got to tell you guys, you did a really good job with that car. I would really like to own a car like that one day. So, you know, it was a lot of fun to have Alex drive the car. I had a great time driving the Ecoboost, and it just goes to confirm, it's a great time to be alive. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll talk to you later.